Hey, what's up guys, this is Emmanuel Ajekwe on EATVR, and yesterday Apple released their iOS 12.4.1 as you can see, and the update is basically a security update. It's just a patch for any vulnerability within the previous update, that's the iOS 12.4. Alongside the iOS 12.4.1, Apple released other updates for their products like the watchOS, the macOS Mojave, and as well the tvOS. Now the watchOS came with 5.3.1, the macOS Mojave came with 10.14.6, whilst the tvOS came with 12.4.1 for the Apple TV 4K and Apple TV HD. Before we dive deep into iOS 12.4.1, let's take a look at the build number for the previous version, iOS 12.4. So speaking of iOS 12.4, it came with a build number 16G77. Before I updated my phone to iOS 12.4.1, I have to run a benchmark. I used the Antutu benchmark to test for the various functionalities of the phone. It tested for CPU, GPU, UX or the user experience, and the memory. So for the CPU, we had a total score of 35366 with a CPU mathematics scoring 9908 and CPU common use scoring 6257 and the CPU multi-core scoring 19201. Moving on to update the phone, the iOS 12.4.1 came with a download size of 72 megabytes, and the download size actually depends on the phone you are using. Especially if you are using the iPhone 10, you can get a size of about 90 megabytes and above. Let's check out the build number for iOS 12.4.1 after the download. So as you can see here, iOS 12.4.1 and the build number 16G102. I went further to do a benchmark test using the Antutu benchmark to test for the functionalities of the phone, and the CPU had 36387, GPU had 48680, UX 17562, and memory 3507. Going further into the CPU had a CPU mathematics scoring 10115 and CPU common use scoring 6492 and multi-core scoring 19780. Comparing this to the previous update, iOS 12.4, looking at the CPU, in total we had 35366 and 36387 on iOS 12.4.1, which seems to be greater than the previous. So to me, I think this update had a great impact on the phone as well. Speaking of the mathematics score, we had 10115 on iOS 12.4.1, and on the previous update we had 9908 for mathematics score. Now coming to common use score, we had 6257, and on iOS 12.4.1 we had 6492. That's also greater on the new update. Now coming to multi-core, we had 19780 on iOS 12.4.1, and on the previous we had 19201. This also is greater. So in all, the iOS 12.4.1 came with additional boost to the phone to keep the phone stable and running smoothly. So in all, this update is quite good. Now looking at smoothness, the phone seems to be running quite smooth, no lagging behind as you can see. opening apps were quite fast. Okay, now let's take a look at the battery of the phone after the update iOS 12.4.1. Charging the phone at full capacity as at 11 a.m. in the morning till now 5 o'clock p.m. the battery seems to be doing quite good, and it's now at 66%. The iOS 12.4 doesn't come packed with so many features. It's just a security update for a patch of any vulnerability within the previous update, but it has brought quite improvements based on the benchmark test and comparison we did between the old version iOS 12.4 and iOS 12.4.1. Thank you very much, guys. Catch you on the next video.